Hey everyone, welcome back with Bino Mac, where today we will continue with the evolution of the gameplay throughout the AKI series. Our first episode we went deep into the mechanics that made the series what it was, as well as the new features in Virtual Pro Wrestling 64. This time around we'll see what was added and removed during the 1998 release, WCW NWO Revenge. Let's start with some removed features real quick. First off, they removed the ability to remove masks off of wrestlers. I'm not sure why, considering there are quite a few masked wrestlers in Revenge, but you can't seem to do so in this game. Also, it seems they have limited the turnbuckle grapples. Now, instead of having 3 options for strong grapples, only 2 options are now available. Press A or B for strong corner grapples, just like the weak ones. Another removed feature is the situational high flying attacks. Some high flyers in WCW change their dives depending on the location of their opposition. In Revenge though, no matter the distance, all high flying moves are the same, except for moves that dive to the outside of the ring. Finally, this isn't so much as a removal, but instead an update. You see, in Virtual Pro Wrestling 64, your grapple didn't matter when it came to Irish Whip rebounds. You had 4 attacks, which are tap A, hold A, and then added directional input onto one of those for a total of 4. Now in Revenge, the D-pad doesn't matter, just tap A or hold A to do an Irish Whip rebound attack. But now, the move changes based on whether you did a weak or strong grapple before tossing the enemy into the ropes. As far as gameplay goes, that's about all that seems to have been removed, which is good. After all, it is quite annoying when games remove a bunch of features from future releases. Now, let's get into the new editions of the series that debuted in WCW NWO Revenge. First off, entrances have been added to the series now. Wrestlers walk out from the back and pose on the stage, sometimes with a manager depending on the wrestler. Once in the ring, they also pose. BPW 64 and World Tour only had quick intros in the ring. Going back to Irish Whipping, there are new moves associated with it. For example, if you strong grapple and then throw your opponent into the corner, they will bounce off the turnbuckle pads and be open for a free hit. On the apron, they added a club to the chest move for everyone in the game. To do so, weak grapple your opponent while they are on the apron. Strong grapples are reserved for suplexes to the inside at this point. There are 2 new options for back grapples. Now you can hold your victims in place for an attack from another wrestler, or in tag matches, you can press C up to lift your opponent into the air for a devastating doomsday device. But you need to hurry since you don't have much time. You can control where you want to go with the D-pad and rotate with the A and B buttons. To get behind your opponents easier, front grapple and press R to transition into a back grapple. That's not the only quality of life improvement, however. Revenge also added the option to do recovery grapples. In VPW 64, you could only strike or evade. Both options are still here, but now you can do grapples while getting off the ground now, and even do specials off of them if your special meter is flashing. Revenge is the first game in the series where you need to taunt while your momentum is at its peak to activate your finisher state. In previous games, you automatically entered the special state once you reach peak momentum. There are also 3 new special situations. First, you have Irish Whip rebound finishers. Only a few, though, have this, such as DDP and Chris Benoit. Strong grapple and toss them into the ropes while in a special state to activate. Then, when your foe comes back to you, flick the analog stick. Another option for some are corner specials. Same idea. Toss them into the corner, strong grapple, and flick the analog stick while in a special state with guys like Eddie Guerrero and Scott Hall. Last are high flying attacks. Only a few have special finishers, however. Once in a special state, just do a normal top rope dive and it will automatically activate. Some wrestlers, usually Giants, can only do top rope moves when in a special state. Guys like the Giant, Reese, British Bulldog, and Kevin Nash are examples of this, along with Eric Bischoff. There's also been a new button for pinning, which has been changed to the L button. C-Left now turns over down opponents, and since the run button isn't tied to the pin button, you can now jump over down enemies to get to the other side of them. Weapons have had quite the glow up. Now you can run with weapons as well as bring them inside the ring. A new running attack with weapons has been added, ensuring a knockdown upon contact every single time. Running into the ropes or jumping over wrestlers makes you drop your weapon though for some reason. They still phase to the floor upon being dropped. You can run inside and outside the ring at will now for much faster options. You can even slide under the ropes and get up onto the apron quickly by pressing C up while running. The submission system sees new moves along with updated sounds like the sound of bones breaking when an opponent taps. The referee from VPW64 is replaced by official WCW referee Mark Curtis, but he seems to have the same animations overall. Revenge is the first game to allow rivals from the backstage to come out and interfere in matches. This wasn't possible in the previous games due to the entryways being blocked off. After big moves, instant replay options are now available. After a particularly devastating strike or slam, it will repeat 3 times to sell the impact of the move. After a match, you now see the final moments of matches on repeat while the Nitro theme plays. Most of the time it's cool, but sometimes the final move is cut off for some reason. Now it's time for some cool Easter eggs. First off, Laparca and Sting both start matches with their respective weapons. Revenge veterans know that this can be a serious problem for those unequipped to deal with this. On the Nitro and Super Brawl stages, you can Irish whip someone into the stages where they will run into the back and sometimes bring back weapons. If not though, they will be at your mercy for a rebound attack. Or you can just let them run until they hit the apron and be stunned for a while. Other small features include the addition of inside corner attacks. Press A towards the turnbuckle while the opponent is down with certain wrestlers for this attack. Another new mechanic includes the kick reversal minigame. If your kick is reversed, you need to try and guess whether the opponent will press A or B. Guess correctly and you'll counter with an enziguri. But if kicks are reversed when the opponent is in a special state, they will automatically do a reversal finisher. Stealing moves returns and has finally been updated to be pretty much perfect. You can steal the finisher of anyone in the game, including back finishers. There's even a cool detail where you will do a sloppy diamond cutter that was used in previous titles. Speaking of stealing, now you can steal taunts from whoever you're looking at. Flick the analog stick in the direction you want, then to the opposite side, and finally back to the original direction quickly to steal a taunt. Or you can be like everyone else and just rotate the analog stick quickly for the same effect. Another move you can steal are submissions. While in a special state, hold A and B and you will do your opponent's ground move. The final addition is a doozy. While in a special state, Booker T and Akiman have a special kip-up where they will do the spin-a-rooney. That's all for today, but as you can see, there were a lot of improvements that were made in just 1 year. Next time we'll look at what was improved in the WWF's first AKI game, WrestleMania 2000. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of AKI videos every single Sunday. Above all else though, please remember to have a nice day.